Hello, everyone. This is Julie Lanford, the Wellness Director at Cancer Services, and I am here with Lindy Milligan, our Survivorship Coordinator. And we are starting off the new year, and wanting to make sure that everyone knows what we've got planned for the new year so you can save the dates, you can sign up for our programs, you can make plans to participate. So let me first do a little rundown of the current programs we have planned for the new year. This is 2021, and we are excited about the new year, and all of our programs are still virtual, so you don't have to worry about coming out of your house. It makes it real easy for you to join us on Zoom for our program. So let me kind of give you a rundown, at least for January and February, what we've got coming up, because those are the ones you're going to want to, get right on it to sign up. So first of all, this is coming up next week. Starting next week on Monday, January 11th, we are kicking off a 12-week fruit and vegetable challenge called Eat the Rainbow. Some of you maybe remember this from September and through the fall. We did the Eat the Rainbow program, but we are doing it again because we had such great success. So you can find information about that at cancerdietitian.com/rainbow. And this is a program where you will get emails every week and kind of new recipes and different ways to learn about healthy produce for you. We also have in January a nutrition webinar, which will be on Wednesday, January 13th. And our topic for January is intuitive eating and cancer survivorship. So many people attended the nutrition webinar in October, where we talked about what even is a healthy weight, or what does that mean for cancer survivorship. And we mentioned intuitive eating, and a lot of people were interested in knowing more. So this session in January is going to be more in depth around intuitive eating and how you can use that for your survivorship healthy eating. And so we'll have nutrition webinars each month on the second Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then we also have cooking classes that are virtual on the third Wednesday at 11 a.m. So in January, our Cook to Thrive Survivorship cooking class is about stocking the freezer, making sure you have things in your freezer that are easy to make healthy eating, delicious and fun, but also what kinds of things can you cook to put in your freezer so that you don't have to cook every day. And then at the end of January, we have Cancer Transitions Reunion. So people who have participated in the Transitions program, either in real life when we did them in person, or recently when we offered a virtual program, graduates are invited to join us. We are going to have a guest speaker. Dr. Julius Torelli is going to talk about the power of gratitude. So anyone who has participated in the Transitions program, no matter how far back you go as a graduate, you are invited to join us. And then we have our ongoing groups throughout January and of course the rest of the year. So Lindy, help me remember our groups. So we have GYN is the first one that meets, right?
Correct. GYN, the first
GYN,
Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m.
That's right. They're on Zoom. And you can find information about that program. cancerservicesonline.org/GYN group has the link to sign up. Once you sign up once, it's the same link every month. So that's pretty easy. Our Spanish speaking support group also meets on the first Tuesday. So anyone interested in that would just need to contact Gloria at our office. So, okay, that's the first group, the GYN group. And then we have I guess the breast cancer group would be the next one through the month.
Right. It is the third Thursday of each month at noon, also via Zoom. We will have some programs this year, as well as time for chit chat, talking, sharing, catching up. So keep an eye out on your email for what the topic is each month, and we'll keep you updated. And which reminds me, if you do not have your email listed with us, please call our office and have them add your email address to your record, especially now with everything being done via Zoom. All of our communications and all are mainly through email. So you're really missing a lot if we don't have your email address.
That's a good point. And if you make sure you get our emails. So we did send a lot of this information out by email on Monday, January 4th, a couple days ago. So if you didn't get that email in your box, there's a couple of, troubleshooting you can do. One is to make sure it didn't just go to the trash box. Sometimes it gets marked as spam. Some people, if you have Gmail, you have a promotions inbox. And in your promotions box, sometimes it just automatically puts our emails there. So a couple things you can do to make sure that your emails come to the inbox. If you have Gmail and you have a promotions box, you can drag the email over to the inbox. You can also reply back to us and just send us a little email back like, oh, I'm so excited about all these programs, because we know you are. And that can actually help make sure that Gmail now marks it as an inbox instead of a promotion. So there's a little trick for you. All right, so that's the breast cancer group. They meet on the third Thursday at noon. We have depends on the month probably which order it goes in, but the blood cancer group meets on the fourth Wednesday, 6 o'clock. And then our arts and wellness group meets on the fourth Thursday at 2.
2 to 4. And there's a different art activity each month. It's become very popular. There are limited supplies, so you do need to sign up in advance, and we will have the supplies available for you to pick up at Cancer Services the week of the event. But they are limited, so we do need for you to sign up in advance for each month.
Right. So let's see. So the art and wellness, it's a partnership with Sawtooth School. So, I have limited art capacity and Lindy as well. So don't worry, it's not us coming up with our own favorite art activity. It's the Sawtooth School. It's professionals. And they determine the project and then help us with those supplies, and then you come pick them up. So with the regular wellness groups, from the GYN group and the blood cancer group and the breast cancer group, once you register for those groups at the beginning of the year, so once you kind of sign up for those, you'll be able to use the same link and you're signed up for every month. But the art and wellness group, because we need to have specific RSVPs for each class, you do need to register for each month that you plan to attend.
Right, I'll go ahead and tell you that January, which will be the 28th, we are going to make these tiny accordion books again. We made these back in June of last year, and everybody really liked it, and it was a lot of fun. So we are going to do that again in January.
Cool. And we talked about those books are really cool. You could use them as a card. Is that right?
You can use them as a card. They have a little pocket, so you could, put a little, as my mom would say, put a little piece of money in it, and have it as a birthday gift, or you could put a gift card in it for someone, or just write them in it. They're really pretty cute and pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. Sawtooth always comes up with good activities.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's the rundown for January. Now for February, for anyone who has not done the transitions program, this is your chance to go through the 4-week program, so then you can join in our reunions later on. So in February, we will be offering a virtual version of the transitions program. It will start at the beginning of the month. Let's see. So on the first Tuesday. And it'll go for 4 Tuesdays in February, and then you will graduate at the end of the month. So whoever signs up, you're signing up to attend all 4. It's a really great program. We cover nutrition, physical activity, emotional coping, as well as medical management, kind of the things, the most important things that you need to know as you transition from active treatment kind of to maintenance therapy or survivorship stage of your cancer journey. So we always like having people come to that, and great program. We also have, of course, our nutrition webinar that month. I believe we are doing immunity is our topic, nutrition and immunity. Let me check on that. Let's see, February. Yes, nutrition and immunity. And then our cooking program in February will be, the theme is veggies at breakfast. So a lot of people They might get fruit, they might not get any produce at breakfast. So we're going to share some recipes that are easy ways and delicious ways to include veggies at breakfast. And then we have our regular groups again in February. Do you happen to know the art activity for February?
I do not know that one yet.
Okay. So that's kind of the rundown, at least for the things that are coming up pretty soon that you will want to go ahead and register for. If any of those are of interest to you, you can go to cancerservicesonline.org/register. And that page will give you a brief description of each program that's coming up in January and provide you with a link. You can also go to our calendar page, which is cancerservicesonline.org/calendar. And then each event has a little description and a link. So those are ways that you can make sure to access those programs. And then Lindy is going to kind of give you a big overview of what we have planned for March, April, and May.
Okay, so for March, we are launching a new program, and it will be a 5-week program on gratitude. Those of you that attend the Cancer Transitions reunion this month in January will get a preview of what that's going to be like. We will have Julius Torellis as our speaker and guiding us through this gratitude journey. So it will be for 5 weeks. It can be self-directed. If you just choose to do it self-directed, you'll get an email on Wednesday, and that will give you your assignment or information for the week. If you choose to join in the Zoom group, you'll get the emails on Wednesday, and then Thursday evenings, we will have a weekly meeting to discuss that week's information. We're really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really nice and a really good thing to do. There's a lot about mindfulness and gratitude right now and how those really affect your well-being. So we're really excited about that program coming in March. It will start on March the 3rd and run for 5 weeks. And then we have our regular groups again. And Julie, what are the topics for nutrition and Cook to Thrive in March?
In March, I've got our nutrition webinar. We'll be talking about organic versus conventional foods and what the science says about those. And then our cooking program is focused on treatment side effect recipes. So especially tailored for people who are in treatment and having some side effects that affect their nutrition intake and how, what kinds of foods or things can help to combat those.
All right, very good. And then in April, we will launch our Move More, Stress Less program. We've been doing this for several years, and it's I guess you could call it like an exercise program, but I don't want people to think that you got to go to a gym or whatever. Basically, it is starting in April when we will all be coming out of hibernation and ready to get outside and hopefully enjoy some pretty weather. But you will keep track of your movement week over week. It can be walking, it can be an exercise class, it can be yoga, and we will you'll report in either how many minutes you did that week or how many steps. We're very flexible on what your movement is, but it is a way to kickstart the spring and summer by getting up, getting out of the chair, and movement. And research does show that exercise and movement does reduce your stress levels. And a lot of time after the winter months, people are feeling very itchy to get outside and do something. So we're looking forward to that. And then we are also going to launch a new program on mindfulness. If you were able to join us in December, we did one session on mindfulness, and Sarah Bridges, the oncology counselor at Novant, led that, and she's going to lead this workshop on mindfulness starting in April, and it will run for 4 weeks. It's going to be on Thursday afternoons at 2 o'clock, and it starts on April the 22nd. And she will guide us through different types of mindfulness and meditation and try different things so you'll be able to choose what seems to work best for you. And Julie, how about nutrition and cooking in April?
So our nutrition webinar in April is going to talk about carbs. Are they necessary? Are they not? Some people have been talking about keto diet for cancer patients and survivors. So we'll cover what carbohydrates are, how they function in your body, and spoiler alert, why you do need them. And then our Cook to Thrive class is going to be an additional, I did this theme back in October, and I feel like it's a theme worth repeating because who doesn't want to eat delicious desserts? So we're going to do another round of delicious desserts that incorporate some kind of, nutritious food into a dessert that you maybe weren't expecting to actually taste good. So that's April.
All right, that sounds good. And then in May, we'll offer cancer transitions again. We try to offer that 3 to 4 times a year so that we can kind of hit everybody in their cycle of when they're completing their treatment. We highly encourage anyone who is recently out of treatment or active treatment to participate in this program. If you have participated in this in the past and you have found it useful and informative and you've enjoyed it, please spread the word. We all know someone that has had cancer. We all know someone that is either in treatment or will soon be finishing treatment. So word of mouth is the best way to get people to actually engage in some of these activities if they haven't ever done anything with us before. So definitely tell your friends, any relatives or anything that's close to finishing treatment to sign up for one of these cancer transition classes.
Yep. February too soon for you. You can make plans to join us in May.
Right. And then nutrition and cook to thrive for May. Julie, what are those topics?
All right. Our nutrition webinar in May, we're going to talk about animals versus plants. So many people have heard a plant-based diet is what's recommended, which is true, but a lot of people are confused about what that means. So should you include animal products in your diet or not? And you can find out. You're going to have to wait all the way till May to find out. Or you can go to cancerdietitian.com for the cheat sheet. Our cooking class, we are going to do spring recipes. May is still spring, right? April showers, May flowers, that still counts as spring. So
yep.
We're going to do spring recipes in May, whether it's spring or not. So that covers all the way through May. So you'll kind of, you now have an overview of what things are coming up, what things might fit with your schedule or your maybe treatment schedule in terms of when you'll be done. But I want to kind of think through and ask Lindy, we planned these out. We try to plan pretty far ahead, but Lindy, what are you most excited about when it comes to these upcoming survivor programs?
Well, I'm always excited about cancer transitions. I just think the world of that program and what it does. And I have led the program many times now, and every time I see people complete that 4 weeks in a better place than they were when they started. So I always look forward to that program. It's also, as much as we hate not meeting in person, it's also very easy to participate in when you don't have to leave your house and you just sign on to Zoom. So I hope that we'll get a lot of people to participate in that. So that's definitely always one of my favorites. And then I'm really looking forward to the gratitude program and the mindfulness program. I think those are both kind of buzzwords. People hear that a lot, but they may not know exactly what that means. And you may feel like that you are a thankful person and you exhibit gratitude throughout your day, and that is wonderful. But this will give you some new light on the topic and also on mindfulness. I know there's times when stress or anxiety seems to take over. Maybe you've got a scan coming up, or maybe you've got a treatment coming up that you're nervous about. And this will give you some guidelines to use on how to kind of control that and calm yourself and bring your mind back to just one thought instead of the rat race, squirrel race going on in your head. So I'm also looking very forward to that.
Yeah, so I've talked with Dr. Torelli a couple of times about some of the programs he's done in the past and how we can sort of tailor something for us. And it's interesting because his wife was treated, I hope I'm not giving away any of his stories, but his wife was treated for cancer. And that's when he created some very specific gratitude type of, not meditations, maybe guided type of imagery type of things. But really, I think what was cool is that he used it specifically through her treatment journey so that she could find ways to be grateful for like different aspects of your treatment that you maybe wouldn't even think of. And then he himself has also gone through some medical issues. And so he really has personal experience, also experience as a caregiver, and he ties it in very well to people at different stages of their journey. So I think it's going to be really great. So people who are in treatment or out of treatment, it's going to be applicable for you. So I guess what I'm most excited about is that we've intentionally tried to plan out our programs, especially this year, so that they dovetail on each other, with sort of a kickoff or an anchor being the transitions program, so that people, as they look towards the end of treatment, you participate in groups as you go along. You might participate in special programs, but we would like for cancer patients, as they look towards the end of treatment, to think about doing the transitions program. And then we've also designed our other programs to dovetail on back to back with each other, so that you're never overwhelmed with too many programs at once, hopefully, and that they would wrap up before the next one starts, so that you can kind of seamlessly move from one to the next. So to me, I hope that people find that helpful, and that it feels like they're part of a community that can sort of journey together through the year virtually, for now. All right, so what's the best way for people to get involved?
The best way is to, first of all, make sure that we have your email address, and make sure that you read our emails when we send them out.
That's right.
I know everybody gets a lot of different emails, and if you're like me, you probably signed up for a few extra ones over the holidays to retailers you were ordering from. And as you see those now, you just kind of erase and don't even look at them or think about it. But don't do that with our emails. You need to open them up and look at them. You might be missing something. So make sure you have our emails. Also, be sure to check our website at cancerservicesonline.org and /calendar. Check that frequently to see what is new and what may be popping up, and the topics for the groups, and also any additional information or programs that we may kind of insert along the way. So those are the two best ways to stay informed and get the information that you need.
Yep. So there you go. If you got our email in January, hopefully you did. And that was step 1, is to read the whole email. And then step 2 is to sign up for a program. So if you're, you heard something you want and you're not sure where to go to sign up, go to cancerservicesonline.org/register. And that will get you even the groups. So we organize that page by category. It has all the January. At the bottom is the groups. It'll take you to a page that will get you registered for each one. And then, another great way is if you're someone who's kind of attended a lot of programs and you feel like you are ready to take the next step and try to give back more, we have a variety of ways that you can volunteer. And so we would love to put you to good use with a variety of different things. Sometimes, it's nice to be able to share what you've gone through and maybe give a little bit of advice to somebody who's currently going through it. So we do have a care team of people who make calls, who write letters, And then we have a variety of other tasks that you can do from home, which is a nice way to feel like you're helping to give back and participating. So is there other volunteer opportunities that we think people would want to do?
Sometimes we have opportunities come up that where there's some help needed at the office, not necessarily you have to go to the office, but office work, either data entry work or addressing envelopes or sealing and stamping for our mailings. So if you have interest in volunteering, if you will just let us know, and then we can get a form filled out that you can tell us what you're interested in doing and when you're available. Then when those type of things come up, we will have your information and be able to contact you.
Yes. All right. So let's say we've got somebody who's watching, maybe they've gotten our emails, but they've never really attended a program. What would you say to someone who isn't sure whether they should try it out or not?
I would just say definitely try it out. You just need to stick your toe in the water, and then you'll be ready to plunge. Just sign up for one of the programs. A great place to start if you've never done any of our things is the nutrition webinar, because it is, like it says, a webinar. So you sign on to it. You just have to listen. You don't have to participate or talk. You are not seen by the other people in the group. So it's a very easy way to start getting involved and then see what you learn. And then you'll be ready to try out some of the other programs as well.
And I think I always feel like the art one is good too, because it's not one where you're going to be expected to talk, but you will show your face. But these are also art projects that you don't have to be crafty. I'm not really a crafty person. They're things that anyone could do.
They are. And at the end, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. And,
Yeah.
and they're great. And they're things that are usable. Like in December, we made Christmas ornaments that were out of felt, and they were little stuffed ornaments. And we had people that did that class and learned it and enjoyed it so much, they went on and made other ornaments on their own. So you're always learning something new. It's always kind of triggering something in your brain to try. So definitely try out the art projects.
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing I'll tell people who maybe are like, I don't know if I should try that. We do simple evaluations after all of our programs for people to fill out online that are anonymous. And I will tell you that like 95% of participants say the program was a benefit to them and they would recommend it to another person facing cancer. So when we have that kind of feedback, I think, they're fun. There's nothing I think that you can be afraid of. And hey, the great thing about virtual is, like Lindy said, the webinars, nobody knows you're there other than your name. But if you don't like it, it's really easy to leave.
True.
We don't want you to leave in the middle, of a group, but the honest truth is that, you can step in, you can be there. And then if you have to run or, you need to get out, it's pretty easy to leave. So we would welcome you to try out a program at any point in time. So the last thing we're going to talk about before we sign off is just a little bit of a heads up about what we're going to do or how we're planning for Survivors Day 2021. So Lindy, you want to talk about that a minute?
Sure. National Cancer Survivors Day is always the first Saturday in June. So this year that will be June 5th. Historically, we've had an event on that day where people can come, have a snack or a meal. There's a little program, activities for survivors to do at the event. And of course, this year we had to go virtual, so we delayed it a little bit until August so that we had a little bit more planning time. And we actually ended up doing a Survivors Week where each day of the week had a different topic, a different speaker. It was at a different time of the day, and you could log on through Zoom and participate in each of the programs throughout the day. And then the last day of the week, which was the Saturday morning, we had a party, and it was a lot of fun. And we had some trivia questions, and we gave out door prizes, and we had some speakers. And so we are looking at having a Survivors Week again this year, which will start on either Monday, May the 31st or Tuesday, June 1st. Those will probably be virtual. We're kind of waiting to see what happens with the Saturday Survivors Day event. We're thinking it probably will end up being virtual again this year, but if there's a way we can have it somehow in person and then have a way to log in to participate, we'll do that as well. But just save the date for that week, and then that Saturday the 5th is Survivors Day.
Yeah. It's going to be, we all hold things loosely is what I say. We make plans and we hold things loosely, but we have found that last year, 2020's Survivors Week was, I think we all had a lot more fun than we expected we would. So I believe that wraps it up. So now you're all informed on kind of what we're planning for the year. Be sure to get us your updated email address. Be sure to make sure that you read your emails, that you check your mailbox. Our printed newsletter hit mailboxes, I think, kind of over the weekend or sometime this week. So be sure you're getting our information, and we look forward to seeing you in a program soon.
Sounds great.